press space bar. Hello. Can you guys see me? I hope you can see me. I'm trying something different. I have not done a YouTube live before. Um, so yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited that you're here. Hi T. I see you. Okay, good. That means you can hear me and you can see me. So y'all make sure that you tell me hi in the comments. Let me know that you're here. Let me know if you got your PJs on like I have my PJs on. I was so excited that I did not have to get dressed up for tonight. So here we are. I am super, 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 super excited and incredibly thankful that you all made some plans to be with me. It has been so long. I feel like we've canceled so many plans this year. And I just decided I'm not canceling Girl Chat again. I'm not going to cancel one more plan, one more date. We're going to be together. And so here we are. This is it. Oh, thank y'all. I look cute. Ooh, yeah. I'm excited about that. Y'all hype me up. Hype me up because I am yeah, it's been a good day, but it's been a full day. I'm actually going to adjust this a little bit if I can. Um, so here we are. Um, y'all ready? Y'all ready for girl chat? Y'all ready to hang out for a little bit? Um, my team is checking on me. So yes, so I'm here. I'm ready. We're gonna dive right in. This is going to be a very transparent girl chat. Hey, I see somebody telling me hey. Um, but there's some things that I really, really want us to discuss, and some things that I think is super important in this season, not just the summer, but the COVID season, the tension that's going on in our social relations, if you know what I'm talking about. Like all of that in this season, we're gonna talk about that. We're gonna talk about how we're navigating, how we're staying sane, and keeping our emotions in check. And I think it's really important that I have this conversation with you. One, because I think I need to be vocal about my process. And two, I think it's important that you know that somebody is in the gutter with you and fighting and navigating and processing. And three, I think it's really, really important that as women, we come together and we shed light on what it means to be a woman in totality. Not just a woman when it's cute, not just a woman when people are like, oh, you're getting everything right, or you always look good, or whatever, but really being honest about where we are, what we're doing, how we're affected. Um, I think that it is so important. Oh, someone says that they like my arm candy. Isn't it pretty? I love pretty things. It is a thing for me. I love it. I love it. But we could talk about that soon too, because I may have a surprise for you. So there's some things that we're gonna cover. Y'all cool with that? Y'all ready for that? We're about to get in it. Oh, Toya's here. Hey, Toya. We're about to get in it. So if I don't call anyone else out for the next few minutes, forgive me. Because as y'all know, I can jump around because I get easily distracted. So if you will let me say my highs in a little bit, I will do that. So here we go. My boo just came in to check on me. How I am and how I have been navigating this season and what I've learned and what I want to share with you all is to have a lot of grace and to give a lot of grace for yourself and to give a lot of grace to other people. I'm gonna say to women just because that's kind of what I focus on. That's where I'm at. That's what I do. But in general, it's about giving a lot of grace to other people. It is about giving yourself a lot of grace. It is so important that you don't get stuck in this idea that you're not doing enough, that you have failed at starting all the things, or that you have failed at being the best homeschool teacher or being the best housewife or any of those things, or that you failed because maybe your job is furloughed right now. It is really important to give yourself grace in this season. And all of the grace that you need to give yourself, you have to give to other people because you never know what anyone else is going through. It is so important to remember that when we're navigating, there are other people navigating too. It's not just us. It's not just what we're feeling. It's not just about how we've been affected. There's always someone else that's navigating right alongside us, even if we can't see that. And so we have to give as much grace as we want to receive, because the reality is that in this season, there have been a lot of things that we've been able to do that we weren't able to do before. But there's also some things that we had to table and we had to walk away from. And there have been some disappointments and some areas that we have had to say, I don't excel here. I don't excel. And that's okay. It's okay. We're human. The only person that is perfect is Jesus. And he's still a deity. He's God. So if you take that into consideration and you navigate with that in the back of your mind, that the only perfect person is Jesus, then you're good. Because then you begin to give yourself grace, you begin to relax, you begin to rest, and you begin to give it to other people, just like you need to receive it. And again, as you come in, make sure that you're saying hi to your girls. We're all spending some time together. I want you to be sharing some ways that you've been navigating this season, just as I'm sharing some ways that I've been navigating. So make sure you're telling your girls too in the chat. So another way that I've been navigating is some intentional quiet time. Let me run it back. So intentional quiet time for me is really, really key in general, just because, as many of you know, my mind goes a mile a minute. I'm always thinking, I'm always processing. There's always something that I'm working on. And I have had to learn to quiet myself and to quiet my thoughts, because I did not realize that it was actually adding to and increasing my anxiety, because I was always processing. I was never off, like never ever off. In the middle of the night, I'm not off. I had poor sleep habits. I have poor engagement habits, and I had poor eating habits, because I'm constantly processing, constantly moving, constantly doing. And so in this season, I've learned that I need intentional quiet time. And I don't have music on. I don't have the TV on. I am not perusing my social media. I am not taking calls. I am not in meetings. I'm not answering text messages or emails. It is quiet. And I'm either writing, or I'm reading, or I'm resting. And it is so vital that you begin to be intentional about the quiet that you need, because you cannot hear yourself think, and you cannot hear God talk to you. And if you cannot do that, then you cannot move forward. And so I think that that was something that I had to learn in this season of March to now. Petra, you have to sit down, you have to be quiet, and you have to tune everything out, because there are some things that you have been processing over and over again because you didn't get it the first time, because there's so many things that are running through your mind. And then there are also things that God has been trying to tell you that you keep asking him about, and he's not going to repeat it. So you have to get quiet, and you have to process, and you have to really think things one at a time and take your time with it. And so in my quiet time, my boys aren't in here, my husband isn't in here, my girls aren't talking to me, and it changes. It's not always at the same time, but I always pencil in the time. So there are days that I do have very heavy days, like I have a lot of meetings or I have a lot of things that I have to get done. But I make sure that I at least set aside 15 minutes for just me. And again, even if it's just catching a nap, I do that, because when I tell y'all I have poor sleeping habits, I have poor sleeping habits. My best friend told me, even when I was pregnant, she's like, you need to go sleep. Those kids are never going to sleep because you don't sleep. But it's true. I don't. I'm always like that. But you have to get intentional. Then I'm going to tell you, one of the big things is to read the word. And that is probably the most cliche thing that I'll say tonight, but it is the most important thing, is to read the word. Not a regular book, not a social media post, not listening to a sermon, and not looking at the highlight reel. I'm telling you, you got to read the word. Even if you don't understand it, even if you're not getting anything in that moment, read it anyways. Read it anyways. Because the word says that you'll begin to hide it into your heart. And so when there comes those moments of anxiety or depression or feeling overwhelmed or being uncertain, the word that you've hidden in your heart in your quiet time will come back to your remembrance. And so it's really important to be intentional about reading the word and putting it into you. You just got to get it in there and you got to keep doing it. I wake up every day and on the Bible app, it's on my phone. It has a good morning picture, which I love because I like to be talked to real cute in the morning. So it tells me good morning, and I check out my Bible reading plan, but I also check out the verse that they have for me in the study that they want me to do. And it takes about 3 minutes, and it's so important because it starts my day properly. And I'm able to come back to that word over and over and over again because we have to study to show ourselves approved, right? And so we keep asking God for things, but we haven't actually sat down at his feet and learned anything yet. Because there's some things about the process and the plan that he has for you that he's already given you the steps for. You just have to call into remembrance the things that you've read. But if you don't read, you cannot call it forth. So it's important that as you navigate this season, you're reading your word. Now, one of my favorite things about this season and how I'm navigating is staying connected with those who have the capacity for me. And let me tell you what I mean by that, because I think it's really important, and I don't want y'all to get the wrong impression. But let me explain something to y'all real quick. I am no longer in a place or in a season of just having people around me who drain me and bring nothing to the table. I am also not of the mindset that I'm going to dump all of my thoughts and worries and excitement, any of my emotions on anyone that does not have the capacity to consume it. Just like I said in the beginning, there are other people that are navigating around you. You're not the only one. And so even if it's a good day for you, it may not be a good day for them. And they may not have the capacity for you in that season or that moment. That's okay. You need to connect with those people that have the capacity for you. You need to connect with those people that have the capacity for your process. You need to stay connected to the people that have the capacity for what you're about to push out. If they don't have the capacity, give them the grace to let them go. Stop holding people to things that they do not have the capacity to consume. Stop that. Stop that. We're done. We're done with that. There are so many things that we are doing and that we have to focus on. We don't have time to carry other people or to force other people to be connected to us. It is important. Again, the very first thing is to give people the grace that you want. People are going through some things, and to ask them to take on yours and they're unable to is just not considerate. It's just not considerate. And so be the friend that you want to be. Stay connected to those who have the capacity for you. And then one of my last things that I think is super important and kind of encompasses all of this, and let me say it a little loud for the people in the back. Eliminate the toxicity, sis. Eliminate all of it. I don't care who it is, what it is. Eliminate that. Dead that. We're done. Eliminate every bit of toxicity. I call y'all pretty for a reason. Everything about you is good. Everything about you is good looking. Everything you bring to the table, God has called forth out of you. So if you keep connecting and keep taking in those toxic things, it's going to begin to age you. It's going to begin to drain you. It's going to begin to kill you. You need to dead all of that. Eliminate everything that is toxic that has tried to sit and take up space in your life. We're done. We're done. If there's nothing else that you've gotten out of this season, you don't have time for dead weight. And you don't have time to consume compost. I hope I said it loud enough for the people in the back. We're done. Eliminate everything that is toxic. Every relationship, every mindset, every habit, every obsession, every addiction, every friendship, every thought process. Anything that has you up at night worrying or has you coming out of your character or taking you back to your old one, you need to eliminate it. You don't have time. If you haven't noticed, time is speeding up. The windows of opportunity are getting smaller. You no longer have the time to navigate the toxic stuff. You got enough to navigate. You don't have time for this extra stuff. We're losing time. And if you waste what time that you have on trying to fix other people and fix other situations that he already told you to get rid of, that's on you. So I'm going to encourage you right now in this place, whatever jumps into your mind, let that go. Let it go. I mean, I let the hair go. I let the perceptions of what other people thought I should be doing go. I let go of the anxiety that I have of, am I going to get everything right, go. I let go of people. I've let go of opportunities. I've let go of partnerships. I've let go of all of that. Because in the end, what he has for me is not going to drain me. You'll know it's toxic if it's draining you. You'll know it. You'll absolutely know it. All right, here we go. So now that we've taken care of that, I want to talk about some fun ways to stay sane, because I think that it's super important, because I've already given you the heavy stuff, because I always start out with the heavy stuff, because that's just my nature. So, hello. Welcome to Girl Chat. So, fun ways to stay sane. Video chat with those people that you can just spend hours with. And even if you don't spend hours with them, they're the ones that you can spend time with without feeling like it's a chore. And I'm saying video chat on purpose. I'm not saying call. Texting is good. Y'all know that I'm a texter, so that's my thing. I don't usually phone call people. If you call me, I probably send you the voicemail and just text you and say, hey, what's up? That's how I am. I'm very honest about that. But I have found that because we are all siloed right now, it is really, really, really important to see people. And so take the time to do some video chats. Get your favorite snacks, your favorite ice cream, your favorite candies, get your water, whatever you need, but spend time looking at people, seeing people, hearing people, giving them space and receiving space. It is so important that you can connect with them and see their emotions, because we have missed a lot of that. I'm used to going out with my girls. I have a Saturday every month that's just for me, and I usually use that for my date times with my girls, and I haven't been able to do that. And so I've been really, really good about getting on the video chat, spending some time talking about what's important, or talking about nothing at all, but making sure that I see them, that they see me, and we make sure that we're okay. Because sometimes people need to see you, because they can then begin to call out, hey, something's wrong. You may not know, but something's up with you. What's going on? Are you okay? And that's important. Another good thing that I have found, and a fun way to stay sane, is water balloon fights and playing outside. I am not an outside girl. My children are outside people, though. My husband is an outside person, and they have been dragging me outside when it's cooler in the late afternoon. And it has been so much fun just to relax and have fun and throw some water and be okay with my hair getting wet and just chilling. It is so good. It is so fun. Find an activity that you can do outside of your home, because we've been inside for so long, y'all. So long that these walls are like this now. Like this. Ugh. You got to get outside. You got to do something else. You got to have fun. You got to laugh. And you have to do something that's going to take your mind completely off of what you feel like you're missing. And there's nothing that will take your mind off of what you feel like you're missing than a water balloon to your face. I'll tell you that right now. My son Sterling has the best aim. Do you hear me when I say my child is going to play baseball? He has the best aim ever. Yes, Toya, you are correct. Indoor camping is amazing. My little one, he loves to build forts, so we have been doing that in the house as well. My pillows are not doing the best because they have been beat up during this season, but the forts, life-giving. We pop popcorn, we sit on the floor in his little fort. It's everything. So that actually goes to my next one: build a fort and hide. play hide and seek, do those things, do the things that we've done when we were kids, those things that we're too old to do now. Do them. Do them. This is an extended summer break. Get out the s'mores if you have a fireplace. Roast some s'mores. Not s'mores. Do the marshmallows. Roast some marshmallows to make your s'mores. How about that? Because if y'all can tell, I just eat the stuff. I don't really care if it's cooked or not. I just eat it. It's good. It's really good. Do something creative. I have suggested finger painting, or just painting my nails. I paint my nails every week. It's something that I like to do. So finger painting is really good. Actually, if you've been following me on Instagram, you know that we've been renovating our house, and there is a big piece of wood that came damaged, and so we can't send it back because they sent a replacement. And my husband was actually going to get rid of it. I just talked to him tonight, and I said, "Hey, let's let the boys paint this. So we're going to get cans of paint, and they're going to create art, and I'm going to hang it in my living room. And I'm going to help them. So it's going to actually be a family project. We're each going to get some spray paint, maybe some gold, some white, some black. And we're going to paint it, and I'm going to hang it on the wall. So it'll be a nice family project, but it'll also be a way to keep my mind and my sanity, because everything isn't serious all the time, but everything is worth making a memory with. We're not going to get this time back. Let's make the most of it. Let's make the most of it. Try some new recipes. I think that's a really good one. I personally don't do this. I'm not a big cook. I can cook. T is a really good cook. My husband is a really good cook. Lena cooks. Toya, like all y'all cook. When the Lord sent me my husband, he blessed me real good. Really, really good. I cook when I want to, and I cook those things that I like to eat. I very rarely experiment with my recipes, but Robbie is really, really good with changing up the menu, and it's actually been fun. It's been really fun to try these different things and see what he comes up with. So I encourage you, change up your menu. Why not? I mean, quarantine weight is real, but nobody's gonna see you. I mean, y'all don't see me. Like my waistline is incredibly thick. It's like, and I'm fine with that. Because y'all not going to see me until next February. And then by then, I'm going to be cute. And y'all ain't never going to know. So there's that. So try all the new recipes. Try the new desserts. Do all the things. Why not? Why not? Have fun with that. And then start a project that you didn't have time for before. Anything. Like for me, it's actually my closet. I'm recording in my closet, which also functions as my office and recording space. But for me, that's my project. So we have actually worked on building a closet organization unit on this wall. So I'll be able to take all these racks of clothes and put them away, kind of get this room set up to something that's a little bit more livable. Everything won't be all over the place. And I haven't had the time to do that. It's like one of those things, I'm always throwing clothes in, but I don't have time to actually like organize. And it always gives me anxiety when I walk in, because I'm like, why do I always have to see all this stuff? Well, now I have the time to fix that. So if there's a project that you haven't had time to do before, why not try it out now? Now, there is the reality that there may be some things that you aren't able to finish, or that it's not really a good idea for us to do right now, but I think it's reasonable. I think it's reasonable to at least try. And then if you see that it works, great. If it doesn't work, try something else. It couldn't hurt. It doesn't hurt. Now, the last thing that I wanted us to talk about is keeping our emotions in check. Because that's a thing. And we've talked a little bit about that in the beginning, about how we're navigating. But I think that there's a difference here. When we're talking about like emotions, and that's how we're responding to people. That's how we're taking in how they're responding to us, or how they're interacting with us. And also what we feel is going on around us. I think it's really important to talk about how to keep those things in check, and how to begin to bring them under subjection, because what you don't want is for your emotions to rule you. So just like we've learned how to navigate through this season, and we've talked about ways to stay sane, we need to also talk about what our emotions are and what emotional responses have to look like now. Because the reality is, being cooped up in the house with people for months on end, hours at a time, when the majority of us are used to being at work for hours at a time, uh, we're not always so nice. And we're not always so calm. And we're not always so sure of ourselves. And so it's really, really good to remember that you got to respond well. But to do that, you have to identify what your emotions are. Okay? All right, so I'm going to look down. I'm gonna make sure that I get all these. Hold on. My mom is texting me, y'all. This is how my real life is. Okay, so keep your emotions intact. Big thing, the first thing, and it's a big thing, is disconnect from what's overwhelming you. Um, it is incredibly important to begin to identify the root of your poor responses and your emotions that seem to go haywire, because it is very rarely the person around you or the situation that you find yourself in. That is usually not the root cause of why you're responding the way you're responding or feeling the way that you feel. You have to begin to identify the root. And once you do that, you need to disconnect from those things that are overwhelming you, because your overwhelm is causing you to fight back and get defensive. And because you're getting defensive, then you are beginning to offend. You're beginning to offend. And let's be very clear. Everybody needs grace. Everybody's not going to get it right. And it starts with us. So begin to disconnect from what overwhelms you. If it's something as little as, let me show y'all this. So my favorite water is Smart Water or Zephyr Hills. And I literally, y'all, this is going to sound so dumb, but it's real. Because I told y'all I'm going to be as transparent as I can. I was having issues with the fact that there was no water in the house. I drink like 2 gallons of water a day. And Rob was like, there is water in the house. And I was freaking out. I was like, there is no water in this house. There's no water here. I am going to die of thirst. And he was like, are you okay? Like, we got water here. And so I realized that, one, I needed to be able to get out of the house. I was overwhelmed by being here and not leaving, because Rob would do the grocery shopping. He would go run our errands because he didn't want all of us to be out, because he was trying to minimize the exposure to the virus. But I was stuck at home. Like, I literally wasn't going anywhere. And so I realized that me going out and getting my water, my Smart Water or my Zephyr Hills, was actually relieving some of the overwhelm of being at home. And so I had to tell him, I was like, I have to get out. And so I literally had to disconnect from being home all day just to go get water. I have water. My fridge gives me water, like from the door, that kind of water. But this, I was literally freaking out because there was no Smart Water in the house. And it was really because I couldn't leave. I needed to leave. Begin to identify the root of what is overwhelming you or making you feel a certain type of way. Because it's very rarely the people that are talking to you. It's rarely that's what it is. You blowing up at folks and that's not it. They said something sideways to you, and really, they just asked you what you did differently with your hair. Think about that. Begin to structure your day. Go ahead, get up, have a plan. Toya is really good at this, so she can actually chime in with this. She has a plan for her boys. They get up, they do certain activities. I think they have an app or something, and then they get some time outside. I think Terry does the same thing. That's really important to structure your day, because then you begin to look forward to certain things. You can begin to accurately prepare for certain things, and you can also begin to give your mind something to focus on and when it can rest. And so that's really important, that you add that structure in, so that you're not always feeling like you're looking around and wondering, okay, what else am I supposed to be doing? Where else am I supposed to be going? How else am I supposed to be processing? It is really, really important that you add that structure, so that you're not always feeling like you are having to swim against the current. Because that's usually what happens. You feel like, oh my God, there's so much to do. But really, if you've structured your day and you kind of have your plan, you have your planner, all of those things ready, and they list out what needs to be done and those things that are second priorities, it's good. It helps your mind to relax a little bit, and it also helps you to be able to respond well when people are pulling on your time, especially when you're at home, because a lot of people will take away from what you would usually do and how you can, be in your office and get things done. It's a little bit different when you're home. But if your day is structured and if you've given yourself enough time for certain things, it's a little bit easier, which means you're not as anxious. Okay. Third, acknowledge your feelings and take the time to process them, whatever they are. You can be angry, you can be tired, you can be stressed, you can be anxious, you can be sad, you can be jealous that other people seem to be living the life. Whatever they are, take the time to acknowledge the feeling, be honest about the feeling, and process it so you can let it go. Because half of the time, what we do is we have these feelings that come into our mind, and instead of acknowledging what they are, we try to suppress them or we put them to the back burner, and then they begin to fester or boil over. And that's the problem, because then they begin to seep into other things where they don't belong. So you need to take the time to acknowledge what your emotions and your feelings are and go ahead and process it, see what it is, acknowledge how it makes you feel, acknowledge the root of it, and then let it go. Let it go. Okay? Cool. Have your girl on speed dial, whoever she is. And that can be text dial, phone dial, video dial, whatever. Have her on speed dial. You can literally send a text. Hey. I'm struggling. I need you to, 1, pray, 2, bring me coffee, or 3, suit up because we about to go at it. Like, whatever you need to do, have that girl that's on speed dial who she doesn't have to ask you questions. She immediately jumps to attention. It is so important that when you're having a moment, that you're not having to have this 20-minute dialogue of why you feel the way that you feel. You need to be able to send that SOS out, and she immediately responds and says, let's get it. What do I need to do? How do I need to help? You have to have at least one good friend like that. And she can live in another state. Who cares? Like, that's fine. We ain't going nowhere, no way. I mean, well, you could go get coffee. Okay, so you could get coffee. You could. And she could bring you coffee. That's fine. So maybe you need 2. Maybe one out of state, one in state. Whatever. But have that person on speed dial, because there are going to be moments that you cannot talk to the people in your household. You need to have someone outside that you can immediately send an SOS to, and they immediately jump to attention, because you need that type of response when you are in a place of disarray, because you need something that is steadfast and that looks like, okay, everything else around me is shifting and feeling funny, but they're solid. They're 10 toes down. That's what's important. That's what you need. Okay? Now, take a step back to do something relaxing. I think that is one of the most important things that any of us can do. It doesn't matter what relaxes you, do it. For me, it's painting my nails. I do this, like I said, weekly. It's a fun thing for me, but it's also a very relaxing thing for me. I'm in a house full of boys. I'm by myself in that sense. And so I'm the only one that's doing my nails, and I have my quiet time. The boys know when the nail polish comes out, mommy needs to spend some time. She's having her spa treatment, and she needs to be able to focus on that. She's going to watch her YouTube videos while she's doing her nails. But don't bother her. Don't bother me, okay? It is really important that you have something that relaxes you. If it's listening to music, if it's listening to one of your favorite old movies, doing your hair, whatever it is, find something to relax you. Find something to relax you. And this is not the same thing as your intentional quiet time. Okay? Your intentional quiet time is literally quiet time. Like, you're quieting your mind and you're allowing God to speak to you. So there's a lot of prayer involved. There's a lot of peace involved. There is a lot of introspection involved in your quiet time. Your relaxing is something different. Like, I'm literally doing the things that pamper me. I'm doing the things that make me feel good in this moment. Like, those are important. So do that. I mean, ooh, you know what's one of the best things? Here's a plug. I'm totally about to do a plug. More Please Sweets and Treats. They have this amazing red velvet popcorn, white chocolate, red velvet popcorn. I don't even eat red velvet cake. That popcorn is the best thing. Oh my God. Like, if you want something to eat during your relaxing time, like your pampering moment, please hit up More Please Sweets. Like, they have the best. Oh, that popcorn. I think I'm gonna text her. I think I'm gonna text her. Trust me on that. It will add to your experience in your spa moments. Okay. Now, the last thing that I wanted to end on, and I think that was something that I have learned, and that I talked a little bit about on my post when I was sharing that we were going to do the live, is an active season of rest. And one of my girls had told me about that. She was like, I think this is just, you should really talk about this season of rest that we're in, but that it's active. And I sat and I thought about that, and I realized she's right. This is absolutely an active season of rest. And that sounds like a contradiction, but it's not. Because an active season of rest is taking the time to unplug from what no longer needs your energy and instead focus on what God is actually calling us to do. So we can't worry about those things that have nothing to do with us or that we can't control. We have to rest our minds and work on what we can do. We have to rest our minds and work on what we can do. Active rest. There are so many things that have been stripped away. There are so many things that are changing. And there are so many plans that we had that we're no longer able to execute. Okay. That's fine. That just means that you can put those to the side and rest on those. But there are other things that he's still telling you need to get done. So you have to be active on doing the steps that he's already given. You need to be active on fulfilling what you can do. But you're resting in him. You're acknowledging that everything that you do, he's already pre-planned. And so those things that you're anxious about and you're worried about and you're not sure if they're going to come together, stop. Let that be. Let that be. Rest on that and rest in him. And be active about the things that you can do and you can control. So this is your active season of rest. There are going to be some really special things that are going to come out of this, but you have to have already laid the groundwork for it. I can guarantee you that when this passes, if it passes, there's going to be a lot of work that needs to be done. And if you have not actively prepared yourself, you'll miss it. And you have to actively prepare yourself by building up your stamina, taking the time to rest your body and your mind, and then also taking the time to feed your spirit man and build up your mind. Because it's going to take a lot to get what needs to be done. So use this season to rest and to also remain active. It sounds crazy, but it's absolutely doable. And it's what you're being called to do. I believe that with everything in me, it is what you are being called to do. Because I believe it's what I'm being called to do. I really do. I really do. I miss you. I have missed you all so much. I am so happy that that I've had this time away and that I haven't had to put on a ton of different things and bring everyone together. I've needed the rest, but I will say that I absolutely miss you all. But I hope that in this time of us being apart, that you're connecting more with those who you really need to connect with, that you're engaging in ways that are meaningful and intentional, that it's no longer superficial, and it's not, I have to do this. It's really important that you're using this time intentionally. I'm thankful that y'all came to Girl Chat with me. Y'all spent some time. I'm so happy. I am so happy I didn't cancel. It's been a lot that's been happening, a lot that I've been doing, a lot of things that I'm going to be sharing, a lot of things that I have going on behind the scenes that are going to be coming out in the next couple of weeks. Because your girl been busy, but your girl has been good. And I will be very transparent with you and tell you that the first month was incredibly difficult for me, in a way that I was terrified. And I wasn't sure if I was going to make it out of this. I am an ambivert in every way. If you don't know what an ambivert is, I want you to look it up. But I am very much so an ambivert. And to be stuck and to feel alone and to feel as though everything I believed about myself I was going to lose was terrifying. But I'm thankful. I'm thankful that I stuck it out. I'm thankful that I fought really, really, really hard for my joy. And I'm really thankful that you all were fighting right alongside with me. So, that being said, I promised that I was going to have a giveaway for the person that followed the instructions. They tagged 3 people and they shared the post and they subscribed to the channel. I think those were the rules, right, girls? Those are the rules, right? I hope so, because that's the ones that I counted. So congratulations to Brittany Tremier. I hope that I'm pronouncing that right, girl. Brittany Tremier, you have won. And the prize, and I did not tell the prize on purpose, because I wanted to see how many people were going to be down without knowing what they were going to win. But the prize is that I am going to personally donate $100 to the nonprofit of your choice. I'm not saying PP Inc. I'm saying to the nonprofit of your choice. I'm going to personally do that. And I'm also going to send you a $50 gift card to the grocery store of your choice, because you got to get all the food, sis. You got to stock that pantry. So $100 to the nonprofit of your choice. I will personally donate to them. And $50 to the grocery store of your choice. Mine is Publix. I'm a Publix girl through and through. But whatever grocery store that you love, I'm going to send you a $50 gift card to them, because I want to stock your pantry. So I hope that you guys have enjoyed tonight. I hope that you will come back. I'm going to ask you to subscribe to this channel. I don't use this channel very often, but I'm going to change that. We're going to do all the things that I can possibly do and that I feel that God has called me to. And this is one of them. It's another way to engage with you. So if you would, from me, subscribe to the channel. Tell your friends to subscribe. Share, 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 share. Let's build the community here too. It's really, really important to me that I stay connected to you. You don't know how much it means to me to see you guys on the screen tonight. My heart is happy. My heart is full. So share, subscribe, follow, hit the bell notification so you're notified when I upload, because I'm going to be uploading. It's coming. But all in all, do this for me. Hug yourself. Tell you how much that you matter. And know that I love you. Thanks so much for spending tonight with me, pretty. I love you. Have a wonderful, wonderful night. Oh, wait! Are you still there? Wait. One thing. Make sure that you check out the new drop, because we're going to have something coming next weekend. That's important. And also thank you to everyone that applied for the Level Up grant. You guys are the best. Okay, now I'm for real. I'm going. Bye. Love you.